Today we are talking about bar graphs and histograms. Being we are talking about bar graphs and histograms, we need to talk about the differences in the two. Now, the differences in the two between a bar graph and a histogram. Let's talk about what they both do. What is a bar graph? Can someone explain to me, what do you usually see a bar graph? What do you see in it? What does it tell us? Kendall. Okay, bar graph, we see bars. All right? Makes sense. Anything else? We see bars, we see numbers. Trevor? Okay, so different types of animals, different maybe types of food, that sort of stuff. Some words, some lines. All right, so when we talk about bar graphs, an example of a bar graph looks like this, right? Where we have our y-axis and we have our x-axis. You may want to write this down. Our y-axis would have some type of scale on it. This scale more than likely deals with numbers. A bar graph always has a title. This x-axis down here deals with the different categories. The x-axis deals with different categories. Now, being it deals with different categories, we're talking about maybe different types of food or different types of animals. That sort of information is the different categories. Now, our bars usually look like this. We use bar graphs for one thing and one thing only. And the reason why we use bar graphs is to compare things. We use bar graphs to compare. We use bar graphs to compare. And it's compare different items, different foods, different animals, different favorite places to go, favorite subjects, that sort of stuff. That is, we compare those items with bar graphs. Now, histograms, on the other hand. We use histograms when we have intervals. We use histograms with intervals. Histograms, we graph intervals. What was it that we did where we had to find intervals? We had to create intervals. What was that? The frequency tables dealt with intervals. Intervals come from frequency tables. Intervals dealt with frequency tables. Now, histograms look a little different. So this, again, we have a y-axis and an x-axis. Our histogram always has a title. We have some kind of scale. And this scale on our histogram deals with the number of tallies. This scale right here deals with the number of tallies that we write. The number of tallies, the number of things within that interval. Now, down here are the different intervals. Down here, the number of different intervals. Say we have an interval of 0 to 5. So what we do is we draw this interval. Our next interval is, say, 6 to, let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, our intervals have to have the same amount of digits. So if we start the next one at 6, because they can't overlap, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's say this one goes up a little. Now then we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Then we have 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. What do you notice about this histogram that I just created versus this bar graph right here? What do you see as a difference? AJ, what's one difference? They connect, and actually that's a big difference in the two. Now, sometimes on AM we don't see them touching each other. Sometimes there's a little space in between, and that's okay. And sometimes bar graphs touch each other, and that's okay. It depends on where you're looking. Yes, Allison? Nothing? Trevor? No, we put them in intervals. Our intervals have to stay in order. It has nothing to do with the different bars. It has nothing to do with the bars. We go by the intervals. Our intervals need to be in numerical order. If we're doing a line graph, we start with the smallest amount of, like if we were graphing something with years starting in 1900 and going up to 2000, we have to start 1900 here. 1900, 01, 02, 03, all the way up to 2000. Okay? Any other questions right now, being we're at this point? All right, what I want us to do is I want us to go ahead and take a look at this one that's up here. I put one from our book. This is actually the example out of the book. All right, and I believe this is found on page 87, if you were wondering. Now, let's take a look. It wants us to take a look at this table. So we see all of the data in this table, and it wants us to describe this data. So if we are to describe the data in the table, can someone raise their hand and tell me, what kind of table is that? What is it telling us? What's going on there? Jessica? The countries that competed in the World Cup. So we're talking about now, we're talking about Men's World Cup soccer and all the different countries that competed. Actually, not just competed, but actually won. Okay, so that's what our graph is. Our table is. Now, we want to make a bar graph of this data. So what we need to do is we need to, on our paper, I want you to use a straight edge. Now, what is in your desk, at your desk, that has a straight edge? Not your AM folder, your AM scan card, but be careful, make sure you don't write on that card, that you're just on the edge. Use the edge of that AM scan card. So everyone right now needs to get out on their desk their AM scan card, because we are going to create a bar graph based on this information. Go grab and get this yellow cup that's on the desk, please. You have no scan cards. There, I see one just laying out. All right, I want you to use that scan card. Thank you, Kayla. And I want you to draw an x-axis and a y-axis, please. We have an x-axis and a y-axis, and we are graphing this information. And I had told you when I showed you, let's see right here, what did I say bar graphs have to have? Title. All right, so let's come here and let's title this. What do you think we can use as a title? Men's World Cup soccer titles. That's a great title, and it's already there for us. Now, we have two sets of data. We have countries and we have titles 1. Where do you think these countries are going to go? These countries are going to go. Where on our graph do you think we're going to label the countries? Jacob? At the bottom, which axis is this? The x-axis. Very good. So we label this countries. And let's see, I'm just going to abbreviate. Here's Uruguay, Italy, Germany, Brazil, England, Argentina, and France. Now, what do you think is going to go on this y-axis? What do we need here? Numbers. What kind of numbers do you think we're going to have? The what? The titles 1. Very good. So what number do I have to go up to over here? 5, because that's the largest number in my table. Yes, Miss Crouse. That's okay. I'll live. Can you give me just 1 second? Because I'm recording these now. So give me just 1 second. All right, so right here is our titles 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 titles. I'm just going to go ahead and put the 6 here just in case. I know I don't need it, but we're just going to put it. We need to make sure we label this. So we're going to label this titles 1. Titles 1. Okay. All right, so we have our countries and our titles 1 on our scale. We have 2 scales. All right, so let's start with Uruguay. Uruguay won how many titles? 2. So let's go ahead and draw a bar. Okay. Italy won how many? 3. So we're going to skip a little space and go all the way up to 3. Come down. And the same thing with Germany, 3. And then go ahead and finish Brazil, England, Argentina, and France. My bars aren't the prettiest over here. Yes, just bars. 7 bars, 1 for each country. All right, what I want you to do right now is I want you to answer based on your bar graph. Answers number 5 and 6, please. You have 2 questions. I want you to answer those 2 questions, please. So number 5, what do the horizontal and vertical axes represent? What we need to do right now, and this is the perfect opportunity to do it, is we need to practice how to wrap our answers. We need to practice how to answer those constructed response questions. So what I want to do is I want us to come here and we're going to use our wrap method to answer number 5. It asks us, what do the horizontal and vertical axes represent? So what we need to do is we need to actually answer that like we would wrap our answers. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to type it so that you can see it really well. Let me go here, make it smaller. Sure, right now. Okay, so number 5. What do the horizontal and vertical axes represent? In our wrap method, what does the R stand for? Restate the question. All right, so the horizontal axis, I'm going to start with that. Axis represents, the horizontal axis represents, what does it represent? The what? Scale. Okay, let's talk real quick about horizontal and vertical. Horizontal, left to right. Vertical, up and down. Think of Ms. Bailey as being vertically challenged. I'm vertically challenged. Why am I vertically challenged? Because I'm short. All right, good. See? There we go. We have to understand the jokes. All right. So the horizontal axis represents, you tell me, what does the horizontal represent? The countries. Represents the different countries. T-O-U-N-T. Countries, and the vertical axis represents the what? The number of titles won by each country. Alright, so the horizontal axis represents the different countries, and the vertical axis represents the number of titles won by each country. Now, so we've restated our question. We actually answered our question, and we really can't prove this type of answer because, well, it's just right here on our graph, so we really can't prove that type of answer. Alright, so let's take a look at number 5. Which country won the most titles and the least titles? So which country won the most titles? Jessica? Brazil. Brazil won the most titles. So let's go ahead and wrap this answer. Which country won the most titles? So to wrap that, we start with the country that won the most titles is, so let's write that. The country that won the most titles is, the country that won the most titles is Brazil. The country that won the most titles is Brazil. Now, I want to prove. I use a magic word to prove my answers. Caleb, what's my magic word? Devontae, what's my magic word? Okay, anybody know the magic word to help us prove? Because. Oh. The country that won the most titles is Brazil because they won 5. The country that won the most titles is Brazil because they won 5. The country that won the most titles is Brazil because they won 5. The country that won the most titles is Brazil because they won 5. Now I'm going to answer the second part the exact same way. The country that won the least titles, or the countries that won the least titles, are, Chelsea? England and France. The countries that won the least titles are England and France. The countries that won the least titles are England and France because they won 1. No, you answered the other one. No, you didn't answer the second question. You answered the first. We're answering it a second time, so we need to write the countries that won the least titles. The countries that won the least titles are England and France because they won 1. They each won 1 or something with 1. All right. Next page. You're taking a while. Okay. So now I want us to take a look at this one. We did a bar graph just now, and we talked all about a bar graph, and we worked one out. Now we're going to talk about, what do you think it's asking us for? It has histograms, it has intervals, so we are going to graph histograms. Right, the first question wants us to describe the data in this table. So I want you to take a look, and I want you to raise your hand when you think you understand what this table is telling us. I need you reading the graph and understanding what the table is telling us. When you know, raise your hand. Allison? Number of candies and snack size packages. What do you mean? What do you think they mean? Give me an example of something we could do, something this represents. I'm sorry, Devontae? Skittles. Maybe the different numbers of Skittles. You know the little Halloween bags? Those little Halloween size bags, those little snack size bags. Skittles or the M&M packages. I think that's about what they're talking about here. All right. So we need to know, what does each interval represent? That's our next question. So the interval of 9 to 11, what do you think that means? Jessica? Maybe that's the number of candies they have in the bag. 9, 10, or 11, 12, 13, or 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I want this bag of candy right here with 20 of them in it. All right. So it wants us to make a histogram. So the first thing we're going to do to make a histogram, we're going to use that straight edge that we just used. Our AM scan card. We're going to use that straight edge. And I want you to make an x-axis and a y-axis like we just did. An x-axis and a y-axis. I have an x-axis and a y-axis. So I need you to get one on your paper. X and Y. Is this going now? I love to look at pencils. Alright. So we have our x-axis. And we have our y-axis. We need to label these and we need a title. What is the title of this group of this stuff? Kelsey. Very good. We get it straight from right here on our table. So candies and snack size packages. Candies in snack size packages. Candies in snack size packages. Now I have an X and a Y axis. Both of those need to be labeled. My X axis down here, what do you think it's going to be? Refer back to the example I drew. The intervals, very good. These are our intervals. Yes. When you're done, you can work on AM. Or why don't you do your you don't have, start your homework. Chapter 3 vocabulary. All right, intervals. Now, what do you think is my y-axis? What can I title my y-axis? I have intervals, or the number of candies. What it's going to be right here. Let's use our chart and look and see. What does our chart say? Frequency. Very good. And this is our frequency. All right, and the frequency, we go from 3 all the way up to 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Three, 8, 15, 24. This says frequency. What? I just counted by ones on the side. But I only wrote the numbers that were relevant. So let's start with the frequency, the interval of 9 to 11. So 9 to 11 has a frequency of 8. So I'm going to come up to 8, make me a big bar. The next one is 12 to 14. 12 to 14, and that has 15 of them. Next, we have 15 to 17, and that has 24, so that's going all the way to the top. And then finally, we have 18 to 20, with 3 packages had 18 to 20. question. It says to describe the general patterns in the histogram. So I want you guys to take a look at this. What conclusion can I make about after looking at this histogram? What conclusion can I make when it comes to number of candies in snack size packages? What kind of conclusion can I make? Gabby? Very good. Gabby says that most packages have between 15 and 17 candies. Very good. What can I say about this interval down here of 18 to 20? Jessica? So very few packages have 18 or more, right? Could we say that? Yes, we could. All right. So now what I want us to do is I want us to open our textbook to open our textbook to page 88. On page 88, I would like for you to actually go through numbers 11 to 16. I want you to look through numbers 11 to 16, and in fact, we're going to go ahead and pair share right now. So remember, Monday and Tuesday's row, you need to pair share together. Wednesday and Thursday, you need to pair share. Friday, you can go, Jacob, you can go sit next to Alex and work in the back. All right, so you know what you should be doing right now. We're pair sharing. We have a partner to pair share with, and I want you to do numbers 11 to 16. Did I say even or odds? No, so what does that mean? All of them. Very good.